I'm Anthony Fors, the president of Steel Cod, and I'm here with Jon Beresford, our VP of Sales, ready to discuss all things appliances. All right, Jon, here we have a versus with three parties in the contest. We're talking infrared broilers versus gas broilers versus electric broilers. And this is actually a really interesting conversation. I personally really like it because we do a lot of broiler cooking in my household. My wife does most of the cooking, is a fantastic cook, and we cook with the broiler a ton. Fish, meat, vegetables, getting things brown on the top and that stuff. So the broiler conversation is really important to us. So I'm hoping not a lot of salespeople just gloss over that. It has a broiler, and the conversation ends there. Where the
Yeah.
broiler could be a like I can't remember the last time we turned on the bake element. Like it's broiler, broiler, broiler. So it's easy to say it has a broiler and move on, or make some of the passing like has this many passes. That's fine, but the broiler conversation needs to go deeper. So what are customers kind of missing by not going deeper in the broiler conversation?
Yeah, I would say customers are missing it, but I would also say that salespeople a lot of times are missing it, right? And it's funny because they complain all the time about no differentiation between products and finding those things, to kind of talk about and build a story around. And I think that this is one of those things that just is completely underappreciated in cooking. And you're right. You guys are a heavy broiler household, and you're not alone. There is a lot of people that still
Right.
use a broiler today because it is a really phenomenal way to cook. And I think that there are a lot of people out there that are missing one of the most important differences in an entire range conversation that you have, right? And if you think about the way that those conversations go, most people spend their time looking down, right, at burner outputs and BTUs and simmer control and open burner versus sealed burner and gas versus induction, all the things, right? That stuff's all important, but some of the most dramatic cooking differences happen above the food, right? Not below it, or what we're talking about with the broiler, right? Most customers hear broiler and they think, all right, I'm getting heat from the top. Perfect. But that's also a terrible way to understand what's actually happening. It's like saying that all burners are the same because they all get hot, right? It's not the same thing. Electric broilers, standard gas broilers, infrared broilers are not slight variations of the same idea. They really deliver heat dramatically differently, right? They finish food significantly differently. They create crust differently. They change how proteins brown and sear and caramelize and finish and all the words we talk about at the top of the stove, right? We're using them here. And we have this thing that is completely responsible for all of these textures and colors that we're looking for, and it's completely overlooked. And once you understand that, really, you start to realize why some of these high-end ranges can create that kind of restaurant style finish in your home, while others, I mean, they have a broiler, but they're never going to give you even close to that same type of result. And this is that kind of hierarchy that I think is super important in cooking today, especially within creating differentiation with ovens, that a lot of salespeople and customers do miss.
So I think an interesting thing to start off this conversation would be really in understanding broilers and customers and how they think about broilers. Like I said, we're a broiler household, but we're
Mm.
probably in the minority where people are very comfortable with bake, very used to bake,
Hmm.
and broilers they might stay away from. I mean, or they've used it a couple times and it's destroyed their food, so that's it, they're out.
Yeah.
What these elements are doing at the top. So, what is it that customers are? A lot of consumers are misunderstanding or just not thinking about them properly.
Yeah, I think your point is valid. I think that most customers don't really use their broiler probably as a cooking tool so much, especially not as much as you guys do in your home. But I think most people, fairly or unfairly, they probably think of it more as a finishing tool or finishing
Right.
button, kind of more than anything else, right? So
Right.
you think about like melting cheese on like a French onion soup, right? That's a common one. Or browning up your garlic bread, or toasting the top of something, or something like that, right? I mean, the end of a cook on a casserole. Sometimes you'll see them throw it up at the top of the broiler for the last couple of minutes to just kind of
Mhm.
give it some color. I think that's really about it. So, when a salesperson says this range has an infrared broiler, right, the customer has no real frame of reference for why that even matters in the first place. And I think that's a lot of times why salespeople just stop kind of talking about it altogether, right, and just kind of put it as a checkbox feature. Because that customer, when they're thinking about what he just said or she said, they're not thinking about the crust on their steak or caramelization or surface temperature or finishing food or anything like that. They're thinking about, well, who cares? My current oven as a broiler too, and I don't use that one, right? And that's where the conversation there is. There's so much disinterest there that the conversation is just going to break, right? Because yes, their current oven certainly does have a broiler, but that does not mean that it has the same finishing capability as the one that you're being presented, right? A weak broiler, and we've all used them before, I know you have, and a serious broiler are they're both called broilers, but they're certainly not equal, right? The second the customer actually cares about searing, forming a crust, char, browning, restaurant style finishing, if you hear people even say that anymore, right? The broiler becomes a major cooking feature. It's not a throwaway button at that point. So you want to look out for clues like that, because then this becomes a really integral part of the conversation.
All right, so let's start with electric broilers, and they may be the biggest culprit of this anti-broiling from some customers because
Yeah.
it kind of creates some low expectations in there. It's almost like you start playing a sport for the first time in your life, and you have the cheapest possible equipment, and you're like, "Oh, I hate this sport," and it's like, "Well, duh, their stuff barely works." So
It's a good
the
analogy.
electric broiler has created some challenges that the other broilers now have to fight against, a little upstream.
Yeah, I think you're right in many homes. Electric broilers are what most customers today know, probably, or at least picture when you do say it, right? And to be clear, look, I'll be fair to electric broilers. A good electric broiler can still absolutely work to this day, right? This isn't an electric bad, gas good conversation. I think that that's a little bit too simplistic when we're talking about this specific feature. The issue is that many of these mainstream electric broilers really kind of train customers to accept very little from the product, right? Like, even today they preheat super slow. They're supposed to be super fast, and they do preheat super slow. They brown extremely unevenly depending upon how many passes are through there, right? They just feel weak as a result, and they don't create any level of aggressiveness in terms of the surface reaction that you're looking for, right? With whatever you're trying to cook. They make broiling feel this kind of almost like this mild kind of a top heat, like they're under like a tanning bed, instead of like serious cooking. So customers stop using them, and they assume that broiling itself stinks as a result. And that's not the problem. The problem is they've never really lived with a broiler that was worth building these types of cooking habits around, right? And that matters because once a customer has years of bad broiling experience, they don't value broiling when they're shopping for a new unit, right? They don't ask about it. They don't compare it. They don't even understand why a range even has one, or even talks about it as kind of a centerpiece as their range. And then there are other ones that are out there that do treat it like an afterthought because they think that most customers aren't going to come in and ask for it. Electric broilers created the perception that broiling is at best what very occasional use, a couple times a year you might throw it under there. But high performance broilers, and there are many of them that are out there right now that are phenomenal, prove that it can be central and integral to your daily cooking.
So next up are gas broilers, and what's interesting with gas broilers to me is like even the worst ones are a huge jump
Yeah.
from a poorly functioning electric broiler. Even the ones that back in the day were just a tube in the drawer. They could use the drawer. That tube threw some heat, but you had to turn the food quite a bit. So how is gas broiling really separating itself from electric?
Probably perceptionally, right? I think that the flame itself really kind of changes the customer's perception, right? Because a flame does feel more active and more physical and more connected to what people always visualize as professional cooking. Customers see a flame and they just automatically assume performance is there. And sometimes that's fair, and sometimes even that can be incomplete, right? A standard gas broiler can deliver pretty strong top down heat and can feel more aggressive than a lot of the electric broilers that are out there, right? It can be a better fit for customers who want more direct, responsive kind of broiling behavior. But here's the key distinction that I think a lot of customers miss, right? Is that a gas broiler does not automatically mean what we'll get to as an infrared broiler. Okay, those are not the same things. So that misunderstanding causes really kind of bad selling a lot of the time. A customer hears gas broiler and they assume that they're getting an automatic steakhouse experience, right? And that's not always going to be the case. In fact, it's few and far between. Standard gas broiling is kind of one level, right? Infrared broiling is a completely different level entirely that we'll get to. And the word gas, all that really does at that point is just kind of tells you a fuel source, right? It doesn't tell you really the performance story behind all of that.
All right, so let's talk about that big jump to infrared
Yep.
broilers. So what's interesting is that the jump between each one of them, they're not slight steps up. There's jumps from that one. And this
Yes.
is a huge jump. And we experienced in our last house an infrared broiler, and it's like, yeah, this is a total game changer. So how should really customers be and salespeople be presenting infrared broilers and describing what infrared actually means?
Right. Yeah, no, for sure. And this is, you're 100% right. This is where the conversation truly changes. There is a jump from gas, from electric to gas for sure, but this is the real jump in the conversation. Okay. Infrared broilers are not just hotter in like the generic sense of the word, right? They deliver heat in a much more concentrated, aggressive, and just really the best way I can describe it is like surface focused way. Okay. And that matters because great searing is all about surface energy, right? You're trying to create a crust over whatever you're trying to cook before you overcook the interior of the food. That's literally the whole game with broiling. So when you finish a steak or, pork chops or just any kind of certain protein under a serious infrared broiler, the food is getting hit with such intense top down radiant heat. And that's going to give you, tremendously faster browning, stronger crust development, better caramelization, and really just that more dramatic kind of restaurant style finish that people are chasing when they go in and they ask about broilers. This is what they're talking about. Okay. So if you are a salesperson out there, you can skip to the end of the conversation in most cases, because if you do get the customer that starts using words like that, this is how you deliver it, right? This is why infrared broilers matter so much in luxury pro ranges, right? It's a differentiator. That's a true step up when you get into luxury pro ranges. This isn't a brochure feature, right? It's not just there to check a box. It changes what your range can do for you. So if you cook steaks often, if you care about crust, if you reverse sear, which you can do with broiling, right? If you want kind of like that steakhouse style kind of top finish to your food, infrared is the only way really to get that. It's the only thing that's worth having the conversation, because the performance difference is not subtle when it's used correctly.
So let's kind of talk about broilers in the range sales experience, because we know customers are coming in and spending 45 minutes talking about the burners, and that's the beginning of the sales experience.
Yeah.
And either it's exhaustion, or we're just simply in the industry. It's like, oh, by the way, it has an oven and it has bake and broil and convection, and move on from there. But this is a real blind spot in the luxury cooking kind of conversation.
Always. Yeah, because burners will forever be easy to understand, right? Because you can see them and you can count them and you can compare your BTUs and you can point at the flame and you can say, this one is more powerful, right? And broilers are a harder conversation to have there, right? Because you don't feel the result until you actually get home and cook with it, right? So customers really kind of over focus on the part of the range that they can compare easily, and under focus on the part that really could truly change their actual cooking results. And that's a big miss. And it's a big miss even today, back when we were selling for sure, but even now, because if somebody's buying a serious range and they can, they can cook proteins, the broiler can matter just as much, if not more, as the burners on the top of the range. Probably more in most cases, as I'm sure you can attest to, right? A burner helps you really kind of start the cook. The broiler is what's actually going to finish it for you if you care about your results. And because finishing is where that whole kind of restaurant quality cooking lives in the first place, right? It's that final crust and that browning, the caramelization, the top down really aggressiveness of the cook. Customers spend thousands chasing better cooking, and they end up ignoring the system that could actually be responsible for the exact finish that they're going for in the first place. And it's such a huge, I think you used the word blind spot earlier, and you're 100% correct. It's such a blind spot for this industry right now. They should be focusing on this.
So another interesting thing, and we've talked about this many times in terms of the cooktop, part of the experience being like, they're comparing these BTUs, and it's like, we don't really need that, because the high BTUs are for very specific types of cooking over boiling water. You're really talking about your mid-range you simmering to cook. The broiler, I wonder if that's a different conversation, because the question is, does every customer need infrared? Or does this come down to the qualifying understanding how they cook? Or is it, by having infrared, you're just going to step everything up because it completely changes the game?
Well, there's an argument to be made for both sides, right? But I would say that not every customer needs infrared. If somebody barely broils and mostly bakes and mostly reheats and makes casseroles and cookies and basic weeknight meals, I mean, that's a lot of customers, right? I mean, if they never think about the crust on their steak, well, infrared might be a little bit more than what they need, right? That customer, I don't think really needs to be pushed into a feature that they'll never use, and if they did use, wouldn't use it properly. But for the right customer, and I would say it's a heck of a lot more than what we're pitching right now, I would say it's a bigger basket than what we give it credit for. Infrared can be an absolute monster of a feature for them, right? If it's just forget about, let's say that we have those cooking habits, but they're a steak customer and a chop customer and a seafood customer, or the person who does actually reverse sear, right? The person who wants serious browning, the person who, like all the things that we've been talking about in this episode, that customer should absolutely care and should absolutely get this pitch, right? Because the customer that does eat that kind of food all the time, they need to know at least there's an opportunity to get the best version of that food, right? I think that that's fair. I think that you have to introduce it to that customer. So whenever you hear those things, hey, this is what my diet is, this is what I care about, this has to be a part of it, right? So I think the question at that point that you would ask that customer isn't like, hey, which broiler is best? I think it's what kind of cooking does this customer actually care about? And if you find out that it is big cuts of meat and those types of things where you could theoretically finish that food under a broiler, that customer deserves the conversation, right? If broiling is occasional, I don't think you need to oversell it. But if broiling could be a part of how they cook, or maybe how they aspire to cook, the important thing would be to have the broiler conversation, and then at that point, don't treat all broilers like they're equal, because they're not, right? So it's really important to make sure that you're putting that customer in the right opportunity for the best results. And that's, which I would put a pretty big bucket, and I would put out a pretty big bucket for that customer base. That's a pretty big piece of the industry that we're not talking to right now about this. I think it's a really useful conversation that we need to start getting more comfortable having.
All right, so this is technically a versus episode, John. So between electric, gas, and infrared, who's the winner?
Oh, it has to be infrared. Infrared broilers can completely change finishing performance. It's the easiest way to sum it up. It is 100 times better than any other broiler system that's out there for you. Once a customer understands what it's able to do, I guarantee you a customer that uses an infrared broiler is going to stop really treating broiling as an afterthought. It's going to become one of the most important cooking conversations that you can have in the entire range conversation that you're having today.
We drop a new episode every day of the week, including weekends. Don't forget to rate and subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts.